Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miist back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video. We're going to be talking about every movie and show I watched last week, which I had a pretty solid week, a pretty busy week. Well, actually, I had a very busy week, but I also managed to watch 12 movies and the longest season of The Walking Dead so far. So let's get into it, starting it off with my one and only season of TV, which was season 10 of The Walking Dead. Hi, Kitty. And yeah, season 10 um, was a solid season. I enjoyed it. I think it's a big upgrade. Sorry. Season 10 was a big upgrade, I think, on some of the previous past couple seasons. Oh, Betty. I mean, they're all, I feel like a lot of them are pretty interchangeable, but like, yeah, this was a solid season and I enjoyed it. And I know Austin's a big fan of these last two seasons. Um, he likes those last two seasons quite a bit. So, anyways, I started season 11 this morning, and I will let you know about that hopefully next week. Hopefully, I'll be done that by then. But yeah, season 10, I think it's solid. I enjoyed it. Good to see Maggie back. I enjoyed the end of the Alpha and Beta saga as well. I enjoyed the episode 16, that finale. And again, Maggie's back, so that's peak. And we finally got some backstory on Negan. Yay, kitty. Yay. All right, so let's get on to the movies with one of the themes of the week, which was Nightmare on Strelm? No. Nightmare on Elm Street, which I watched the first five. I didn't get to finish them, and I kind of expected I wasn't going to be able to finish them. I really was hoping I'd be able to watch the sixth and the seventh, but I wasn't able to. But I already watched the sixth this morning, and I'll watch the seventh once I'm done this. So, nonetheless, my least favorite of the franchise is A Nightmare on Elm Street: The Dream Child, which I ranked a 33 out of 100. And yeah, I wasn't a fan of that, but one thing I've learned going through these movies is that Freddy is an absolute jokester. He's an absolute comedian, and him on a skateboard is hilarious. There's so many moments in each one of these movies where it's either a one-liner or it's something that he's doing. It's insane. But yeah, we'll talk about some others. So let's move on to number four, The Dream Master, which I ranked a 39 out of 100. I've learned over the past couple of years that I'm not a fan of Rennie Harlan movies, who is the director of this movie, and he's currently directing the Strangers trilogy, which I only watched the first one. I didn't even want to go waste my money on to see the second or the third, so I didn't. But I'm going to watch them at some point, probably this year. But yeah, I've definitely learned that I'm not a fan of this director. So shout out Rennie Harlan, but not for me. Ranked this one a 39 out of 100. Didn't enjoy number four either. So let's move on to number two, which I ranked a 55 out of 100. I think this one is decent, to be honest. I think it's okay. I don't really, I think it's definitely a big step down from the first one, but again, ultimately, I just think it's okay. Where, the fourth and the fifth that I just talked about, those ones were bad for sure, I would say. But number two is not terrible by any means. I think it's quite okay. And considering how bad some horror franchises get, this is definitely not too bad. So yeah, let's move on to how I started the week, which is with If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, which I thought was an okay movie, but it really is carried by the Rose Byrne performance in this movie. I think she really is spectacular in this and has deserved all of the nominations she's received over the Oscar season, or over the award season, not the Oscar season, sorry. But speaking of Oscars, we do have Oscars this Sunday, which I'm very much looking forward to. And yeah, yeah. Anyways, if I had legs, I'd kick you. Ranked a 62, or sorry, 61 out of 100. So let's move on to something I did have ranked a 62 out of 100, which was Dogman, which I didn't think was going to be a very good movie, just because I feel like a lot of some of the newer DreamWorks movies have not really been hits. And this one was okay, actually. One of my goals for the year is to go through every DreamWorks movie, and this is one of them I've never seen or never ranked. So I watched it, and to be honest, there's some really awesome pieces of animation in this movie, and it's really kind of like a decent story about abandonment and daddy issues. So it's not bad by any means. It's definitely made for children, but I feel like as an adult watching it, you can get some enjoyment from it. And I'll just say I'm glad I didn't watch this with Mel because she would have been an emotional wreck throughout the majority of this movie. So yeah, a 62 out of 100 for Dogman. Let's move on to A Nightmare on Elm Street number three, The Dream Warriors, which I really quite enjoyed. Betty, I have so much hair on me, sweetheart. You shed too much, man. I'm so itchy and I can't breathe. I feel so much hair everywhere on me. I'm so itchy. Why are you licking me? All right. Anyways, Dream Warriors. I ranked a 71 out of 100. This was a really pleasant surprise because again, I find going through these horror franchises, they're almost always all bad. Like these big horror franchises, from my experience, whether it's Friday the 13th, Halloween, Paranormal Activity, Hellraiser, maybe some others I'm forgetting. I don't remember. But anyways, a lot of them are bad movies. In the franchise, I'd say at least every single one of those franchises has a couple of different bad entries into their franchise. And this one is no different, but this one again was a pleasant surprise because usually we don't get like a really good one after the first one. And this was a good movie, and I really enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun with these characters. I thought it was quite unique, and the creativity behind this one was much better than some of the other movies that follow it. So, yeah, 71 out of 100 for Dream Warriors. So let's move on to Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which is a really funny spoof kind of spoof movie. It was a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be. I didn't know if this style of comedy was going to land for me, but it's kind of very Shaun of the Dead, which again, it's like kind of a spoof on slashers, but I enjoyed it. I ranked it a 74 out of 100. I'm sorry, I feel Betty here all over me. It was rough. Anyways, I ranked it a 74 out of 100. Again, it's really funny. It's not something I've ever seen before, surprisingly enough, but I had a really good time with it, and I thought it was a lot of fun. Alan Tudyk is great as always as well. So a 74 out of 100. Let's move on to Beauty and the Beast. This week was Mel's birthday. She just turned 23 on the 6th, and we watched some of Melly's favorite movies. So the last four, or no, four of the last five, sorry, or my top five, sorry. Oh, fuck. Four of my top five of the week are all Mel movies, and I'm sure you can tell by the thumbnail. But nonetheless, Beauty and the Beast, which I ranked an 81 out of 100. This is the live action one. I've never seen the animated one. Mel has no desire to watch the animated one or the original, and I do, so I might watch it without her because, again, I do want to watch this, and I've only ever seen this live action remake, which I do enjoy, and Mel really enjoys. She prefers this one, and Mel has such a lifelong connection to Beauty and the Beast. She was in a play for Beauty and the Beast at our local theater a few years ago, and she loved it. She had so much fun with it. It was one of the most fun experiences she's ever had. She talks about it all the time, and it was around the time that this movie came out, I think, or a little bit after that. And she loves High School Musical. So when High School Musical, the musical, the series season two came out, which we're also watching, it's all about Beauty and the Beast. So she loved that as well. She just has a lot of connection to Beauty and the Beast, and she really loves that. So yeah, ranked it an 81 out of 100, and I believe I actually raised that from an 80 to an 81 or a 79 to an 81. I don't remember because I did watch this a couple years ago with Mel. But let's move on to Sing, which is something we've talked about rewatching for a very, very fucking long time. We just never have. And I ranked it an 82 out of 100. It did go down a little bit. Ranked it originally an 86 out of 100 down to an 82. Similarly, when Mel and I started seeing each other, she also showed me the Sing movies because she loves those movies. And yeah, we finally got around to watching it, and I did enjoy it still, but just not as much. I didn't think it was as funny as the first time I watched it, and the music is good as well, of course. And like I said, ranked it an 82 out of 100. So let's move on to the top three of the week, starting it off with A Nightmare on Elm Street, which I ranked an 83 out of 100. And yeah, this is a great movie. I just realized that I misspelled Wes in this review, but Wes Craven was so creative. He had such a unique mind for the horror genre. He is one of the defining directors of the horror genre, whether it's Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Hills Have Eyes, even though I don't love those movies. He's got such a profound, unique perception of horror movies, and they're so good. Everything in this, the practicality in this movie is fantastic. And this is a long overdue rewatch as well. I ranked it an 83 out of 100, which I believe I did. I think that's right around the same. I can't remember what I ranked it. I'm pretty sure I ranked it an 80, an 81, an 82, or an 84. So I don't remember, but I'm right around the same area nonetheless, which, again, I enjoy this movie. So let's move on to the top two, starting it off with Free Guy, which I ranked a 90 out of 100. This is something I showed Mel, I think, last year. It was the first time she had ever watched it. She really enjoyed it. We watched it again last night, and we both really enjoyed it as well. I have never actually changed my rating for this, I don't believe. I think I've always ranked it a 90 out of 100. And yeah, I just love this movie. I know a lot of people don't, but I definitely do. It's a lot of fun, and I quite enjoy it. And let's move on to the top slot of the week, which is Pitch Perfect, which I haven't watched in a while, but 90 out of 100 is still one of my favorite like musicals, I guess. Yeah, I mean it's a musical. It's one of my favorite musicals, and I have a really fun time watching this every time I watch it. It's hilarious. It's really really funny. I love the music in it as well, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. So Mel and I watched this together as well. Anyways, thank you guys all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.